Hey all, welcome back to Share Trek. It is 1st of December 2021. It's around 3 o'clock, just an hour to go before the market closes. And what a day it has been. So just before we get started, let me put the disclaimers in place. This is my personal opinion and for entertainment purpose only. Please consult your own financial advisor and take your own due diligence before you invest in shares. Having said that, let's get started with a review of today's action. Okay, let's have a quick look at the VIX. As you can see, the VIX has been moving sideways in the last couple of days, and what it is forming is a triangle pattern so far. So the thing with triangle patterns is that they tend to show the continuation of a pre-existing pattern. So if I look at the pre-existing pattern, it has been a gradual rise. So probably the exit of this triangle would signify further gradual rise for the VIX. And I tend to believe that the current buoyancy that we are seeing in the market would be a temporary phenomenon because the environmental factors have not changed. We still have Omicron. We don't have a vaccine yet, at least for the next 2 weeks. Regardless of whatever Fed Powell said, whether the inflation is transitory or we drop the word transitory, still nothing has materially changed. We still have those challenges. And with tightening, earlier whenever the Fed used to talk about tightening, share prices used to fall. So now the Fed is saying that they are going to be rapidly tightening, which means the interest rate hikes will come much sooner than expected. So under these circumstances, and also impending supply chain bottlenecks, which will be replicated like it was before until we find a solid solution for Omicron. So given all those things, I would tend to believe that this triangle pattern probably is suggesting that the VIX is going to continue to be moving upward. And if that is the case, then we have to look forward to the indices falling, which would mean good opportunity to pick up real good quality blue chip stocks, which are dividend paying and have great value. So that's my 2 cents about it. Having said that, let us quickly look at where we are with the DIA. DIA is down 52 points today. That is down 0.15%. NASDAQ is down 0.23%. S&P 500, however, is up by marginally 1% or 0 as we talk. Maybe by the close of the session, it will be in the negative. VIX, as it is we saw before, has been moving sideways and it's forming this triangle. So let's get into the stocks that we were looking at. Let us start off first with the automobile shares, which is, let's start with Tesla. So Tesla performed differently today. Tesla was one of the marginal gainers yesterday, the handful of gainers. Today it has lost 3.47% and it's currently at 1106. And I had drawn a trend line here, this green trend line, which Tesla was respecting until so far. So we have to see today whether it's going to fall below. If it does, then we have a support at 994, and probably there'll be one more support out here at around 1046. So that's what we have for Tesla. With regards to NIO, it fell 1.1% today so far. That is 42 cents down, and it is continuing to move on a sideward pattern. And if I go back to a 3-month time frame, we can see that since somewhere around 15th of October onwards, it has been in these 2 channels out here, and one is here and another is bounded here at 37.65. So this has been the general movement for NIO, and I'm expecting that it would bounce off the support at 37.68 and probably move sideways and upwards and continue in this process until there is some really good catalyst that would help NIO to break through. Let's look at Rivian. Rivian again has been down today by 5.38%. It's at 113. As I mentioned in my earlier videos, I think it's going to be settling somewhere between $100 and $90, because I think the IPO was like an exuberant event and people just went overboard. So I'm looking for it to settle between these 2 trend lines, that is 95.94 and 108. So it should be moving along this until they actually start delivering their vehicles and have showrooms and other facilities in place and start reporting some earnings. So having said that about Neo, let us go on to look at the established companies like Shopify. So Shopify dropped today 2.94%. It is continuing to be on a downward trend. We can draw two trend lines here. I have to move this a bit out here, and another trend line on the top. So we are on a downward move. So in order for us to break this downward move, we need a huge volume and a green line to push us out. So right now MACD is looking very bearish. We are in an oversold situation, and OBV is moderate. So we could have a small bounce back tomorrow and probably try to break the 1503 resistance that we have now. The support is going to be converted to resistance. So that's all I have to say about Shop. But I think that Shopify should come out of this downward trend before the end of the year, because we have Christmas season coming. That's a big time for Shopify. Let's look at Amazon, which again lost 1.38% today. I have very strong belief in Amazon, and I think this is the time to buy. I actually bought some Amazon shares today because Amazon has got the cloud service, and it has got a whole lot of supply chain assets in place which it can capitalize on during this period of pandemic and beyond. So overall it's a play for both pandemic as well as regular times. So I went ahead and bought a little bit. Right now it is looking weak, but I'm pretty confident that it will have a turnaround. Maybe there's a rotation out of Amazon into some other areas. Let us look at Google next. So Google seems to be respecting this green trend line that I have drawn here, which is based on past supports. So this is a support line, and Google is still on it, and Google should turn around very quickly because nothing has changed the fundamentals for Google. It's a very good company, and I don't think it is richly valued. It's got a pretty decent value right now. So I'm all bullish on Google. So Google is going to be moving between these two channels going forward. Let's look at Apple. Apple had a massive gain yesterday, but today it seems to have no gain, but still it's a very strong performer, and we should expect it to move a bit sideways. I have a personal target of around $180 for Apple by the first quarter of next year. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes above, but it's a bit too early, and given the macro environment, I would be a bit suspicious if there is a sudden spike. But given that it's Christmas season and there's going to be a lot of sales of Apple products, I would look forward to maybe a sideward movement and slightly moving higher, but not very rapidly. Now next, let us look at non-technology area. One of the stocks out here that I'm looking at is Caterpillar. So Caterpillar may showed some signs of life today, and it came up by 0.75%. It's an infrastructure play. It should be going at around 224, but it is languishing right now. I suppose once the infrastructure bill money starts flowing in and orders start coming in, probably we should see some movement here. Two other shares to watch here are Nucor Corporation, which gives steel for construction, and we have Vulcan Materials Company, which gives aggregate for construction. These two are also infrastructure plays and have a close watch. They are all selling at a discount right now, in my opinion, given the huge stimulus money that's coming into the infrastructure sector. So now next, let us look at not automobile, pharmacy. So we have Walgreens Boots Alliance, which is falling like there is no bottom. I don't know where it's going to stop. It has blown past all the supports that I had in place for it. So right now I'm in a wait and a watch mood. It is totally oversold, and the momentum is low. So we'll have to see what happens with it going forward. I don't know the reasons for this, what is happening here. Pfizer is a company that we have to keep a watch on, because they would be coming up with new vaccines, and there's going to be more movement in that stock. Now let us go further to banking. In banking, I'm looking at Visa, which fell again for 1.25% today. There was a sign of life in the morning, but then it started going down steadily. and likewise for PayPal, which has lost 1.94. These are really good stocks in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to them coming back. I have invested some money on these today, both Visa and PayPal. When we look at Citibank, again, it's lost 0.96%. So the financial sector has not been that great either today. And let us look at our favorite CRISPR stocks. So when we look at CRISPR stocks, CRISP, which has gained earlier, lost all its gains. It had been a gainer yesterday and it lost all its gains, dropped around 5.41%. TDOC dropped 6.53%. Beam has dropped 7.91%. Intelia dropped 5.54%. Editas dropped 5.6%. And ARCG Fund has dropped 3.77%, plumbing the depths. How low can it go, right? It's gone past the last support that I had based on 52-week pattern. So I'll have to put some time and come up with new support levels for this stock. Regeneron is just about hanging in there. It's slightly negative. Vertex is the only positive one. It has got 8.33% upside, and there seems to be no new catalyst that I can see except this news. Vertex kidney disorder drug VX147 reduces proteinuria in phase 2 study. So this is a positive news and this is a catalyst. So this could be the reason why we are seeing a jump in Vertex. So having said that, let us have a look at the crypto space. So we have Bitcoin, which was earlier trending higher. If you look at the 5-day chart, Bitcoin had traced up higher. Along with it, Marathon Holdings also went up today and gave some profits, and it has now bounced back. So I have this green support line here based on the last few months since November, and this support has been tested once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5th, and today was the 6th, and it seems that we have broken down below the support line. So the next support for Bitcoin is around 56,473 or 56,490 thereabouts, and let us see how it goes. As far as Algo is concerned, Algo made a very, very strong move and it has gone to 1.92, even though it has dropped further today, but its move was so strong that it is still in the positive, and I'm pretty optimistic about Algo outperforming the crypto in the short term. So that brings us to an end of the session today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let us get some comments from you, some feedback on what you would like to see in this channel. Please like, share, and subscribe and help me grow this community. Thanks and have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye.